Okay, thank you. Sorry for delay. So this is today the 20th August. I'm taking the first first slide of the compiler construction. This is the whole box. Is the most
So
interesting.
it's 29th August.
Yeah, yeah. Please stop your. Please mute yourself because it is being recorded. Please, everybody mute itself. Anybody who wants to speak, mute, unmute and speak. Okay, everybody please mute. Please, it's a request. Okay, thank you. So this is the compiler, and nowadays it is compiler versus interpreter or both. So traditionally it is a compiler design. The course is somewhere it's a compiler design or compiler construction, and nowadays it is mostly interpreter also. So here compiler design means interpreter. This is the source program. Source program can be C file, can be Python file, can be Java file, can be C++ file, and these are the target program. It can be directly code which can runs on a machine like exe file on a 8086 machine, or it can be a.out in an Unix machine. And these are the error messages which comes out of your compiler whenever you are compiling, like whenever you are compiling with your C code by CC or GCC or Python by Python command. The error messages how would help to debug your program. That is a great way. Error message should come such a way, user friendly way, so that you can debug your whole program. Maybe program from a compiler language or interpreted language is good. So your compiler design has to cover all these things. And remember, this is one of the finest software developed in a computer system. What is the? It is the second finest. What is the first finest? Can anybody unmute and answer me? This is the toughest one, compiler construction. I call it the second toughest software component. And first one, anybody can guess and give an answer. Anyone?
Turing machine.
Yeah, no. The Turing machine is basically a theoretical machine. Basically, all computer is modeling after Turing machine. Even the we are basically all these machines are a copy of a Turing machine. No, the first toughest actual software component is operating system. That is the heart of your any machine. That is the toughest portion. The best brains of the programmers runs writing on it. And then next toughest software is the compiler. So here in the compiler construction, all kinds of your knowledge, like your whatever you know, your algorithm, data structure, then the dynamic programming, then the all divide and conquer, various types of algorithm, and moreover you'll be surprised that even the machine learning also in there, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all components are good to the compiler design. And the more the compiler or interpreter design are sophisticated, so the less powerful hardware is required. Earlier hardware you need liquid nitrogen or AC, and right now you can mobile or a laptop at your room temperature. Is with 30-degree temperature or 35-degree temperature, it doesn't matter. So the more the software become powerful, the hardware cost can become low. So this is a perfect example. Compiler construction I consider is a perfect example, and operating system design is a perfect example of the software, the power of software, how the software can do. So that's it. So any question you can go. I can go to the next slide. Next. This is a next slide. This is a basically but you can think about this is a your language, any language. It can be done in C or Java. I am just adding this, and this component is called Lexer. What is Lexer? It is the first part of your compiler, or some books it's called scanner. Both are things, scanner and Lexer. It makes it as a tokenized form. Your 437 doesn't mean Lexer is just a token. It's a token number 1 plus a token number operation plus, and 734 maybe token number 2. So these are the basically given a token. Remember around 10 years back, whenever you want to get a big amount of money, say 10,000, you go to the bank, you give a token, a coin, a copper plated token. So token is nothing but you are initially acknowledged, and then further checking goes on. So you can take it as a fast pass. Whenever you go to bank, you give a check of self check or your withdrawal slip, say around 10,000 rupees, you not disburse money right now with a debit card or credit card. It is, I am talking about around 20 years back. Maybe you were very child then. Maybe you can remember from your parents. So you given token that is called pass 1. Then it will be checked by the local bank whether you are eligible for money or not. Then you will be disburse the money to this. So basically, a Lexer or scanner is the first pass. You can call the first pass of a compiler to make your source program line by line to make it a token, and then the next component comes, that is the parser. So this is the parser which makes a tree, and the tree, remember your automata classes, this tree is a parsing tree. This should be not ambiguous tree. If it can't be ambiguous tree, and it can be guaranteed by only your deterministic context free language, we'll come to this. But this slide, I think I should be able to understand you, the compiler or interpreter. Particularly, I am now focusing on compiler. The first thing first would be a lexical analysis, and lexical analysis part, it is a part of the program or process which runs on your input code, and it generates the token and put the token in a particular data structure that is called symbol table. So I expect any questions. If you can ask from this question. Unmute yourself and ask the question, please. Yes, question.
Sir, what is symbol table?
Yes, symbol table is a good question. Symbol table is a heart of your any compiler construction. It is basically a data structure. It's a data structure. It keeps all the your variables name, your function name, what is the scope of variable, what is the function's parameter, how many parameters, what the parameter type. If all kept in a it can be any dictionary in like Python, probably you know it should be a dictionary. Then dictionary would be searching time will be O1, but it can be saved in a array also, then it will be slower. So because everything should be done in if the symbol table access, it is basically a table which should be in memory resident, in the primary memory of your compiler program. So whenever compiler first pass, that is called lexical analysis person, or it is called scanner. Both the names are there in books, you get it. So it generates this kinds of token, and this token you put in a single place. You can think of it a kind of a vault, and there every symbol name in which, what is the scope, what is the global scope, what is the parameters, what is the function name, everything saved there. So anything changes, it is changed there. So it is the heart of the machine. And first phase of the compiler is the lexical analysis, then the parsing, this called the analysis phase, then the synthesis phase. I'll come to that, where they actually go for generation for code. Maybe they have to simplify the codes, they have to compact the code should be minimized, they have to detect any unnecessary loops and all these things. So all of these steps in the compiler, they always look up to the symbol table. So the symbol table, you can call it a data structure. It is generally done by a hash table or dictionary, like a concept in a Python. So every symbol can be accessed with quickest possible of time. It is basically done in a hash table. Am I clear? Is the answer? You can ask any question. So we have enough time, we can ask question, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Whoever asks question, give your name, please, so that I can map it quickly. I think Anirban asked the question from your voice, because my screen itself is now the whole screen with this PPT. I am not getting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Great. Unmute. Okay, this is I wish to tell you the. Can you make it a bigger? Is it more visible right now? Is it visible right now? Okay. Hello. Hello. Unmute.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Visible. I think it is better. Yeah. This is the steps of your compiler construction. This is your source code. This is a lexical analyzer. This is the first step that I have mentioned. And this is the syntax analyzer. This is basically a lexical analyzer. It creates the symbol table, and everybody can access the table. it is syntax analyzer, this semantic analyzer, this interpret. I don't know why it is flicking. Let's see, check it. Yeah, I think flicking is coming. Okay, then the intermediate code generator, then the machine independent code. This is called the synthesis portion, and this is the analysis portion. The any compiler construction has two portions. One is a analytical. Whenever you just check the codes and everything. So this is a lexical analyzer. Any if you do any syntax, then the comes if the lexical analyzer is correct. If you make your variable name start with 1, then the lexical analyzer will object. Okay, and if you put syntax analyzer object, if you do not put semicolon in C file or Java, then the syntax, or in the Python file, if you have not your indented space is not there, then it is the syntax analyzer. Okay, this is then the toughest one, that semantic analyzer, when it is whether it means something. So this syntax analyzer, up to syntax analyzer, it is in your automata class, you know, the after lexical analyzer, syntax analyzer, they see if syntax analyzer is okay, they give out a tree that is called abstract syntax tree. That tree is it should be unambiguous. That means it should have only one meaning. That's all. This is it. Let's go. Any question? I'll come to this. This is the role of symbol table. This is essential data structure. That whatever I mentioned, it is mentioned there. And this is the symbol table. Anybody have any question? Can put your question right now. Is it okay? Please question. Anyone? Is it okay? Should I go ahead? Anybody, please? Should we go ahead? I am not getting voice. I am okay. I am visible. I am audible. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Have you understood? Should I go for next screen?
Absolutely, sir.
Fine. Thank you. This is a symbol table. Don't worry. All these slides will be given today itself. You just try to remember what is the thing. This is a lexical analyzer, syntax analyzer, semantic and code generator, symbol table. So this is the generally maintained in a dictionary or hash, so that is the quick. I think I should go to the next screen. This is the same thing. I made it in another interesting form. This is a lexical analyzer. This is a parser. This is a checker. This is called front end or analysis portion, and this is the middle section or back end of compiler. So definitely your first class tests would be this scanner, parser, checker. This is the toughest portion. Most of the in the understanding is the toughest is the parser. It's a scanner is very easy. Just today I have covered scanner, lexical analyzer. I will go more detail. The toughest portion is here parser, whether it is a top-down parsing or it is a bottom-up parsing, whether it is a LL parsing or LR parsing. That is the toughest portion. So next day I wish to start parser because it will take understanding, and I hope you should also understand what is bottom-up parsing. Nowadays bottom-up parsing is the best, and all our programming languages are bottom-up parser, and all our programming languages are nothing but deterministic context-free grammar. You are aware of that context-sensitive grammar. It is very difficult to parsing. Regular grammar is the best. You can parse it in ON. But context free grammar, the parsing is ON cube. But any programming language, if you have an ON cube, that is avoidable. Has to be. So it should be ON. So from ON cube to ON, you have to intelligently modify your language, and all deterministic context free language is a unambiguous grammar. So we cannot take non-deterministic context free. If you know non-deterministic context free grammar means you need a non-deterministic context free machine, and non-deterministic context free machine not easy as non-deterministic finite state machine, because non-deterministic finite state machine can be easily converted to finite state machine, but non-deterministic PDF, non-deterministic push down automata cannot be converted to deterministic push down automata. So all our programming languages must be deterministic context free language, and you need a deterministic context-free language. There is also subset that is suitable for language. So these are the things we will discuss. Anything you can ask question on it. Then we go to the next slide. Yes. Should I go ahead? Ask the question. Should I go ahead? Okay, thank you. This is again and again, this is the front end portion. This is the analysis. This analysis cover lexical analysis and syntax tree and parsing. This is the toughest portion, and this is the back end. So when after everything goes well, so you generally get error, all compiler error, all this after this stage. Now if it goes through, then the back end comes. Then the portion of compiler should be more intelligent, and it will create a compact code. So your code is, however bad you written your code, your actual code will be better. So you can, so this portion is very intelligent. Machine learning, artificial intelligence, all the things is there, and it is the output, the machine code. This is a example, the difference between compiler and interpreter. I just reading it out. Probably you can. The compiler works on a complete program at once and takes entire program as input. This is the compiler. Interpreter, one statement at a time. So advantage is compile, interpreter is you are getting a quick response. So that is your Java, Python. You get a, whenever you development also you get a quick response, so that it be good for a quick development time. But compiler takes time. Compiler generates intermediate code called object code and machine code. Yeah, it is intermediate. Interpreter also sometimes generates, sometimes do not generate. Much not that. Here compiler have to generate intermediate object code. Compiler executes a conditional express much better, faster than yes, true, because it can see the whole context. But interpreter it is slower. Compile program takes more memory, yes, because symbol tables have to be there, whole things have to be there. Interpreter doesn't take so memory because whole program should not be visible, only that portion should be there. Compile once and run anytime. Compile program doesn't need many compile every time. Yes, that's true. Compile program is much faster, but one thing you remember, the compile, if you want to change anything, you have to recompile again. You have to stop the program. So compile once and run anytime. Errors are reported after the entire program is checked, I have told, and see, so interpreter gives error at the first line. There is a compiled language is more difficult to be get. Yes, true, because all the error comes at a time. It is difficult sometimes. Interpreter the last line error it comes. Compiler doesn't allow a program to run until a complete error free. It is also true. Compiler language are more efficient but difficult to debug. True. Compiler see examples. Yeah. Please, any question, please? Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
if we use interpreter and we are writing a code of 10,000 lines,
Yeah. Okay.
then
Yes.
what should
Yes.
then
Yes.
if the
I
interpreter
understand.
will take a
Yes. Yes. I understood. What's your name, please?
Shivangi.
Shivangi. Actually, if you write a 10,000 line course, you should not, because basic concept is whenever you write a 10,000 line course, there will be lots of errors. So it is always concept making a library concept. See, your main program, you should not be more than 10 lines. It is always tell that your main program should be 10 lines. All your sub programs may be 10 lines and 50 lines. You even in C also, it is told that you should not write 10,000 lines program. You make it in a library. You make you mute. Please make it mute. I answer, then you unmute. Shivangi, please.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what I suggest, the 10,000 lines you are correct. Compiled are much better. Interpreter will fail, maybe hang. I must say. Interpreter is mainly for 100 lines, 200 lines, 300 lines, 500 maximum. I never heard 1,000 lines. So basically, even in both the cases, the program should be smaller in sizes. Definitely for interpreter, because everything can be handled by library. You can create your own library like your Java. In Python also you can create library, and library is helpful so that you can tested code is a library, and your main program should not be more than 100 lines. Have I answered your question, Shivangi? Please now unmute and answer question.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Great. Any other questions? The good question. Please, I'll ask, because the class should be more interactive. Please ask, unmute, and say your name and question, please. So otherwise class will be boring. It should be one-way traffic. You ask any question or any question till we have discussed. I am closing within 5 minutes, so you should enjoy the evening, and that's thing. And class should not be very long. then you cannot. Okay. Any question? Any question? Okay. So I think what's an impression? I have so many slides. I think enough for today. Now I go back to screen mode. Everybody make your video faces available, and we can discuss, because I think enough for first day. We'll discuss from this. Let's see questions. Yeah. Yeah, please make your video on. So within 2 minutes, you make a class and ask any question. Please. You unmute and ask any question. Happy birthday, Shivangi. Everybody celebrate.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Others, why unmute? Anirban, any question? Please, everybody should ask.
No,
Dilip,
sir.
no question. No, question should be there. Otherwise, Anupam, question. So Anupam, make your video on.
No question.
No question is my question. Why no question? No question, Akash. Why? That is my question to you. Okay, Anupam. Then last thing okay. So we will meet our next class, and all these notes will be available. Anything at what way we want to just suggest to improve the class? You can WhatsApp me. You can reach me in WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.